Have you ever felt that something inside you is holding you back even when you know you are capable of more? Have you ever worked hard but still felt uncertain about your future? Or maybe you are someone who wants success, happiness, and confidence, but negative thoughts, fear, or self-doubt keep pulling you backward. Listen carefully, because this message is for people who are ready to change the direction of their life. In today's world, many people are not defeated by lack of opportunity. They are defeated by their own thinking. The battle for success is no longer fought only outside in the world, it is fought inside the human mind every single day. The difference between winners and those who struggle is not always talent, education, or luck. The real difference is mental attitude. What if I told you that you are stronger than the fears you carry? What if I told you that your future is not controlled by past mistakes, criticism from others, or temporary failures? The truth is that you have the power to rebuild your mindset, reshape your confidence, and unlock a level of inner strength you may not even realize exists inside you right now. In the next few moments, you are going to learn how to develop an unbreakable, positive mental attitude that can help you stand strong in difficult times, stay focused when life becomes confusing, and move forward even when motivation disappears. This is not about fake positivity. This is about building real psychological strength that helps you face reality with courage and purpose. So if you are someone who wants to become mentally stronger, emotionally confident, and truly unstoppable in your thinking, stay with me until the end of this video. Because what you are about to hear might change the way you see your life forever. Let's begin this powerful journey together. The first and most important step in developing an unbreakable positive mental attitude is learning to control your thoughts before attempting to control external circumstances. Many people spend their lives trying to change the world around them while ignoring the powerful world that exists inside their own minds. The truth is that circumstances do not define a person's destiny as much as their thinking patterns do. Life will always present challenges, unexpected problems, and moments of uncertainty, but the human mind has the power to interpret those situations in either a destructive or empowering way. When a person allows fear, doubt, and negative expectations to dominate their thinking, those thoughts begin to influence behavior, decision-making, and emotional stability. Gradually, negativity turns into a self-fulfilling pattern where the mind starts expecting failure even before effort is made. Controlling thoughts does not mean ignoring reality or pretending that problems do not exist. It means choosing a stronger interpretation of reality that supports growth and progress. Every human being experiences negative thoughts at times, but successful and mentally strong individuals do not allow those thoughts to stay and grow inside their consciousness. They practice the discipline of observing negative ideas without accepting them as truth. Instead of saying, "I will fail" when facing a difficult situation, they replace that destructive assumption with constructive thinking, such as, "I will try my best and learn from the outcome." This mental discipline requires patience and constant practice because the human mind naturally tends to focus on threats, limitations, and past disappointments. Another important aspect of controlling thoughts is guarding the information that enters the mind every day. The mind is influenced by conversations, media exposure, social surroundings, and personal habits. If a person continuously feeds their mind with negativity, comparison, and discouraging messages, their attitude will gradually weaken. On the other hand, exposing the mind to inspiring ideas, constructive knowledge, and positive experiences helps build emotional strength and confidence. Developing thought control is similar to training a muscle. It becomes stronger through repetition and conscious effort. A person who masters the art of controlling inner thinking gains a powerful advantage in life, because external conditions cannot easily break a mind that is trained to stay positive under pressure. Such a person can face rejection without losing confidence, face failure without losing hope, and face uncertainty without surrendering to fear. The battle for success is often won silently inside the human mind before it becomes visible in the outside world. The second key step in developing an unbreakable positive mental attitude is learning to replace negative self-talk with empowering inner dialogue. The way a person speaks to themselves silently inside their mind plays a significant role in shaping confidence, emotional strength, and overall life performance. Many people underestimate the impact of internal conversation, yet the truth is that the human mind constantly listens to what the individual repeatedly says to themselves. When a person frequently thinks or speaks thoughts such as, "I am not good enough, I cannot succeed," or "others are better than me," those ideas slowly become accepted as personal truth. Over time, this pattern weakens self-belief and creates invisible barriers that prevent personal growth and achievement. Replacing negative self-talk requires conscious awareness. The first step is to notice when destructive thoughts appear. Often, negative inner dialogue happens automatically without the person realizing it. For example, when facing a difficult task, the mind may immediately generate fear-based assumptions about possible failure. Instead of accepting these thoughts, a mentally strong person questions them. They ask whether the thought is based on factual evidence or simply emotional fear. Most negative self-judgments are not facts, but interpretations shaped by past experiences or social pressure. Once negative thoughts are identified, they must be replaced with constructive and encouraging statements. This does not mean creating unrealistic optimism or ignoring challenges. Rather, it means using realistic, positive affirmation that supports effort and learning. For instance, instead of thinking this is too hard, a person can train their mind to think this is challenging, but I am capable of improving step by step. Positive self-dialogue should focus on effort, learning, growth, and persistence rather than perfection. Human progress is rarely achieved through sudden success, but through continuous improvement and determination. Another important factor in controlling inner dialogue is repetition. The human subconscious mind accepts ideas that are repeated consistently over time. If positive thoughts are practiced every day, they gradually become the natural way of thinking. Reading inspiring material, listening to motivational knowledge, and spending time reflecting on personal goals can help reinforce positive mental programming. Developing empowering inner speech is not about denying reality, but about building mental strength to face reality with confidence. A person who masters their internal dialogue gains emotional stability and becomes less affected by criticism, rejection, or temporary failure because their self-worth is not dependent on external validation. The third keynote in developing an unbreakable positive mental attitude is building resilience by treating failure as feedback rather than defeat. Life is a continuous learning journey, and every successful individual encounters moments of disappointment, mistakes, and unexpected obstacles. Failure should never be interpreted as the end of personal progress. Instead, it should be viewed as valuable information that helps refine strategies, improve skills, and strengthen character. Many people fear failure because society often associates failure with weakness, but in reality, failure is one of the greatest teachers in human development. Without experiencing difficulty, a person cannot fully understand their strength or measure their capacity to overcome challenges. Resilience begins when a person changes their emotional response to failure. Instead of reacting with frustration, self-blame, or surrender, a mentally strong individual asks constructive questions after facing setbacks. Questions such as what went wrong, what can be improved, and what lesson can be learned help transform failure into a stepping stone toward success. This mindset removes the emotional weight associated with mistakes and allows logical thinking to guide future decisions. People who succeed in the long term are not necessarily those who avoid failure, but those who refuse to stay defeated by it. Another important aspect of resilience is understanding that progress is not always visible immediately. Growth often happens quietly and gradually. Seeds planted in the soil do not become trees overnight, yet they continue growing beneath the surface even when nothing is visible above ground. Similarly, personal development requires patience, persistence, and trust in the process of improvement. When challenges appear, instead of losing hope, a person should remind themselves that every difficulty is an opportunity to strengthen their character and sharpen their abilities. Building resilience also requires emotional balance. Holding on to past mistakes and repeatedly thinking about them can create mental heaviness that weakens motivation. Mentally strong individuals learn to forgive themselves, release unnecessary guilt, and move forward with renewed determination. They understand that perfection is not required for progress. What truly matters is continuous effort despite uncertainty. A positive mental attitude becomes unbreakable when the human spirit learns to stand again after every fall, carrying the wisdom gained from each experience and using it as fuel for future success. The fourth keynote in developing an unbreakable positive mental attitude is protecting your environment by carefully choosing the people, information, and experiences that influence your thinking. Human beings are highly influenced by their surroundings, often more than they realize. The attitudes, words, and behaviors of people nearby can either strengthen confidence or slowly weaken determination. If a person constantly spends time with individuals who complain, criticize, and focus on limitations, it becomes easier for negative thinking patterns to develop. On the other hand, surrounding oneself with people who encourage growth, share constructive ideas, and believe in possibilities helps nurture a strong and positive mindset. Choosing the right environment does not mean avoiding all negative people or living in isolation. Instead, it means being selective about the amount of influence allowed into personal life. Every person must learn to set mental and emotional boundaries. Listening to endless criticism without evaluation can slowly destroy confidence. Constructive feedback is valuable because it helps improve performance, but destructive negativity that offers no solution should be mentally filtered. Protecting the environment also includes being mindful of media consumption. Continuous exposure to pessimistic news, comparison-based social content, or discouraging information can influence subconscious thinking patterns and create unnecessary anxiety or fear about the future. Positive environment building also involves seeking inspiration from successful thinkers, learners, and achievers. Reading educational material, listening to motivational knowledge, and observing individuals who demonstrate discipline and success-oriented behavior can strengthen mental attitude. The human mind tends to imitate dominant influences over time, so choosing positive models of behavior is an important part of personal development. Even physical environment matters because cluttered, disorganized, and stressful surroundings can affect emotional stability and concentration. Another important element is engaging in meaningful conversations that promote learning and personal growth. Spending time discussing ideas, goals, and solutions rather than focusing only on problems helps maintain mental clarity. Protecting the environment is not about escaping reality, but about creating a support system that helps the mind stay strong during challenging periods. When a person consciously controls their surroundings, they gain greater control over their thoughts, emotions, and future direction. A strong mental attitude grows naturally in an environment that encourages hope, learning, and purposeful living. The fifth keynote in developing an unbreakable positive mental attitude is practicing gratitude every day as a powerful tool for strengthening emotional and psychological resilience. Gratitude is not simply about expressing thanks when something good happens. It is a deeper mindset that focuses attention on the value of what already exists in life rather than constantly chasing what is missing. Many people feel dissatisfaction because their attention is directed primarily toward problems, losses, or unmet expectations. When the mind focuses excessively on lack, it naturally generates feelings of frustration, anxiety, and discouragement. However, gratitude shifts mental focus toward appreciation, helping the brain recognize positive elements that are often overlooked during daily struggles. Practicing gratitude begins with conscious reflection on life's blessings, even the small and simple ones. Being thankful for good health, opportunities to learn, supportive relationships, and personal abilities helps create emotional balance. When a person develops the habit of acknowledging positive aspects of life, their brain starts training itself to search for more positive experiences. This psychological process strengthens motivation and reduces the tendency to fall into negative emotional cycles. People who regularly practice gratitude often demonstrate higher levels of optimism and mental stability because their perspective is not dominated by what is lacking, but by what is already available. Gratitude also plays a significant role in reducing stress and mental pressure. Life challenges will always exist, but a grateful mindset allows individuals to face those challenges with greater patience and clarity. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by temporary difficulties, a person can maintain inner peace by remembering past victories, learning experiences, and moments of progress. Writing gratitude notes, reflecting silently before sleep, or mentally acknowledging positive experiences throughout the day are practical methods of developing this habit.
Another important benefit of gratitude is that it strengthens relationships and emotional intelligence. People who express appreciation toward others tend to build stronger social connections because gratitude creates a positive emotional atmosphere.
When the mind practices gratitude consistently, it becomes naturally inclined toward kindness, patience, and understanding. This mental habit gradually transforms personality by replacing feelings of envy, comparison, and dissatisfaction with feelings of fulfillment and inner strength. A grateful heart becomes a foundation for a positive mental attitude that can remain strong even during uncertainty and difficulty. The sixth keynote in developing an unbreakable positive mental attitude is taking action even when motivation is not present. Many people make the mistake of waiting for the perfect emotional state before starting important work or pursuing their goals. They believe that they must feel inspired, confident, or excited before making progress. However, Motivation is not the starting point of success. Action is the starting point that often creates motivation later. The H. Human mind responds strongly to movement and productivity. When a person begins working, even with small steps, the brain starts generating a sense of purpose and energy that was not present before. Taking action despite low motivation requires discipline and commitment to personal goals. Discipline is the ability to continue moving forward even when emotional enthusiasm is weak. Successful individuals understand that life will not always provide constant inspiration. There will be days when the body feels tired, the mind feels uncertain, and the heart may question the purpose of effort. During such moments, the strongest decision is to act anyway. Starting with simple tasks can help overcome psychological resistance. Instead of attempting to complete large and overwhelming objectives immediately, breaking goals into smaller, achievable steps allows the mind to gain confidence through progress. Another important idea is understanding that action creates confidence, not the other way around. Many people wait to feel confident before trying something new, but confidence actually grows when a person repeatedly practices effort and experiences improvement. Every small success achieved through action strengthens self-belief and reduces fear of failure. Even imperfect action is valuable because it teaches practical lessons that cannot be learned through planning alone. Procrastination is one of the greatest enemies of a positive mental attitude because it keeps the mind trapped in uncertainty and doubt. When important tasks are delayed repeatedly, anxiety increases and self-esteem gradually decreases. Taking immediate action breaks this negative cycle and gives the mind a sense of control over life's circumstances. People who develop the habit of acting despite emotional resistance build strong psychological endurance. They learn that success belongs not only to the talented or fortunate, but to those who consistently move forward regardless of internal or external challenges, maintaining determination and focus on their long-term vision. In conclusion, developing an unbreakable positive mental attitude is the foundation of true and lasting success in life. Your thoughts shape your beliefs shape your actions, and your actions ultimately determine your destiny. By learning to control your thinking, replacing negative self-talk with empowering inner dialogue, building resilience through failure, protecting your environment, practicing gratitude, and taking action even when motivation is low, you gradually train your mind to become stronger than external circumstances. Life will always present challenges, uncertainty, and moments of difficulty, but a person who masters their mental attitude can walk through these storms with confidence and hope. Remember that greatness is not created overnight. It is built through daily discipline, persistent effort, and a refusal to surrender to fear or negativity. When you develop a mind that chooses optimism over doubt and courage over hesitation, you unlock the potential to achieve goals that once seemed impossible. May your journey be filled with strength, positivity, and continuous growth. Believe in yourself, stay focused on your purpose, and keep moving forward no matter how difficult the path may appear. Good luck on your journey toward success, and thank you for your time and attention.